One of the key groups behind the government's return to war is the new Sinhalese nationalist force led by Buddhist monks. They are the National Heritage Party, or JHU. They reject making any concessions to the Tigers' demands for a separate Tamil state.
In a country you get only one nation. So this country, Sinhalese, the name of the country in 1815 was Sinhala. So we believe the Sinhalese are the original owners of this land. According to the UN Convention, it's the right of the people who brought up the civilization to claim for it. And the Sinhalese have built up the civilization here. So we believe it is the Sinhalese right for the nationhood.
In the last national elections, the JHU took the controversial step of putting up monks as candidates. They won 9 seats out of 250, yet they claim to speak for a larger constituency.
Out of the total population, about 69% are Buddhists.
Although not all of that 69% vote for the JHU, they all know that we speak on behalf of the country's Buddhists. And the government knows that too.
What is the appeal of the JHU to its voters?
Their appeal, I think, is based on 2 things. One is that they appeal to Sinhala Buddhist nationalism. They are the most articulate spokesperson for what one may call an extreme form of Sinhala Buddhist nationalism. Secondly, the Buddhist monks are associated in the public mind as symbols of moral purity.
A section of the Buddhist clergy has always asserted Sinhalese dominance within Sri Lanka, but under British rule the Hindu Tamil minority were favoured. After independence in 1948, nationalist monks demanded legislation to redress the balance. Sinhala became the national language and Buddhism the state religion. When the Prime Minister, Bandaranaike, who had introduced the changes, began to waver, he fell victim to the wrath of the monks. In 1959, Bandaranaike opened talks with the Tamils in order to ease the tense situation between the 2 ethnic groups. Shortly afterwards, he was shot dead by an assassin wearing the robes of a monk right here at his residency. In the years that followed, more discriminatory legislation and even violent persecution of Tamils eventually led to the Tigers' brutal war for independence. For the Sinhalese, Buddhism forms the core of their national identity. They are especially proud of the fact that the religion has flourished for over 2,000 years in Sri Lanka.
Part of the whole mythology of the origins of the Sinhalese race and the Sinhalese civilization is that, you know, when the Buddha at his deathbed more or less consecrated this little island because his doctrine would be thrown out of India, where the Buddhism was born, but it will ultimately be preserved in Sri Lanka. So the Buddhist monks have this self-understanding that they are the guardians of the Sinhalese nation, which in turn is the guardian of Buddhism.
The Temple of the Tooth in the town of Kandy is the heart of Sri Lankan Buddhism. It holds the country's most sacred relic, a tooth of the Buddha. Ever since the Sinhalese kings held court here, control of the tooth gave the right to rule the country. To this day, it is a tradition which makes the monks politically powerful. What if the monks were not happy with the king?
If not agree with him, then we have to do some secret thing. The monks take the tooth out of the palace. Then people not accept the king.
So if you remove the tooth from the temple, the king is no longer king?
No.
So the monks are very powerful.
Powerful, but yeah, we are powerful, but we are not using our power to wrong way. We are using it only for the peoples.
The temple's position at the core of Sinhalese culture has made it a target for the Tamil Tigers. What are the dogs doing?
Yeah, they are searching the bombs.
In 1998, Tiger suicide bombers drove a truck filled with explosives into the temple walls and killed 13 people. Misaka Kalamasiri is in full support of President Rajapaksa's renewed military campaign against the tigers.
We don't like to kill. We don't want to see our dead body of our people. But the terrorism is here. That's the trouble.
It's very important for the Sri Lankan government to be seen to be endorsed by the Buddhist clergy. When President Rajapaksa started his term in office, he went over there to the Temple of the Tooth to receive the blessing of the head monk. Over there is a poster that shows the president giving alms to Buddhist monks. And over there to the left is a poster that shows the president being shown around by a Buddhist monk in a village that has recently been retaken by government forces. Since the renewal of hostilities last year, around 1,500 people have been killed, and 140,000 Tamils have become refugees. Mavarale Badia Tero is preparing a doctoral thesis on the meaning of war within Buddhism. So what do you think is the best way to deal with the LTTE?
I think no deal with LTT. We have deal with Tamil. No deal. Because they are coming with guns. They are coming with claymore bombs. Now they are coming by plane. No deal.
So what should the government do?
Must fight with LTT. Must.
How do you combine the principle of non-violence with the fact that you're saying the government needs to fight the LTTE?
ඔයා හිතන්න මහා ගින්නක් එනවා කියලා මුළු වන.
If a fire spreads through the forest, there's only one way to stop it. One must light a small fire in front of it. Animals and humans will get killed by that small fire. But it's better than letting a whole forest, a whole world be destroyed. Buddhism is about facing reality.
These are nationalist monks. They are disrupting an anti-war front rally in Colombo last year. Some in the nationalist camp are convinced that the LTTE want not just independence, but to take over the whole of Sri Lanka.
You can see that they totally chased out Sinhalese from northern province and some part of the eastern province, and they are trying to link these areas to eastern province as well. And you know, over 600,000 Tamils are living in western province as well, and they can link here too, and so that Sinhalese are trapped between these two areas. That's our fear.
You see, the fear is a part of the Sinhalese nationalist ideology. Now in the 20th century, Sinhala nationalist ideology emerged in primarily opposition to internal minorities, ethnic minorities, particularly Tamils. And the fact that Tamil ethnic nationalism took a kind of a form of a secessionist war has also reinforced this fear. So in a way, Sinhalese nationalism can be described as nationalism of a majority with a kind of a minority complex.
The Sinhalese make up 3/4 of Sri Lanka's population. But the JHU never forgets the millions of Tamils living just across the sea in the Indian province of Tamil Nadu. They feel that even if the Sinhalese are the majority on Sri Lanka, they are a minority in the region. This is a map given to me by a JHU supporter. It shows the Tamil invasion of Heladiva. Heladiva is the name the JHU prefers for the island of Sri Lanka. They say Hela, as in Sinhala, should be the correct name for their country. One of their main fears is a Tamil invasion from India, where there are 70 million Tamils. Do you think the Tamils who are behind this war are actually trying to destroy the Sinhala community on this island?
They will destroy not only the Sinhala race, but the whole of our historic civilization. and they will set up a Tamil state which leads up to southern India